What's up, y'all? So today what I want to talk about is a driver shortage. What a topic, right? What a topic. I'm not talking about a driver shortage with necessarily Stevens, even though we do need drivers. I'm not pointing fingers at any specific company. I am talking about the trucking industry itself. We have a major driver shortage. It was on Google a couple months ago that said something about we'll need 100,000 drivers or something by the year 2030 or some shit like that to make demand. Let me explain something to trucking companies, to the FMCSA, to DOT, all of them. Before I get into it, I want the companies and the CSA or the FMCSA and the DOT to take about 10 seconds and try and think about for a minute, why do we have a big driver shortage? Go right now. Well, did you think of anything? I sure have. Let's get right into it. The reason why we have a big driver shortage is because we are underpaid, we are overregulated, we are disrespected. We have a computer to tell us when to stop and when to drive. We don't get home enough. Things like that. Why are we so overregulated? Why do we have people and the FMCSA and the DOT and some of these companies trying to tell us how to do our job? You ain't even ever drove a truck. You ain't ever even drove a truck in your life. You probably ain't even ever been up in one. You probably ain't ever been in this seat. And you're gonna sit here and tell me how to do my job? How about this? How about truck drivers, where we are the company's boss, the FMCSA's boss, and the DOT's boss. We have no idea how your job works, but we're going to tell you how to do it. What? Huh? See what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, dude, like, my nerves sends them wild. Sends my nerves wild. I don't get it. We're completely overregulated. We shouldn't have a computer telling us when to drive and when not to drive. We know when we're tired. And we know when to drive. Do y'all understand? Once we went to these right here, once we went to this ELD shit, once we went to that ELD bullshit, That's when we started in the trucking industry having more fatalities, having more wrecks in general and things like that. You know why? Because let's say that Qualcomm ELD tells you that you need to shut down. Let's say I don't want to shut down and I'm not tired, but I have to, because if I don't, I have an hours of service violation. I don't want to shut down, but I know I got to, because if I don't, I'll have an hour of service violation. Well, guess what? I'm not tired, so I can't sleep. So I'm gonna stay up. Now, when it's time for me to start driving again, after my 10-hour break's up, 2, 3, 4 hours later, I'm tired. But drivers, they try and keep pushing it to make the load, so they end up wrecking. When to begin with, dumbass, if we would have been on paper logs, dumbass, we would have got sleep when we was ready to get sleep, dumbass, and we would drive when we're ready to drive, dumbass. Oh man. But y'all, and when I say y'all, I'm mainly talking about the FMCSA and the DOT. You don't have the brains. You don't have the brains to understand that. You just like to put your safety shit in place to think that you're protecting the motoring public, when actually all you're doing is putting it in danger. Did you know that? Dumbass. Ask yourself that. Did I know that? Oh my God, I'm a dumbass. I am a complete dumbass. Why didn't I think about that? I am such a dumbass. I should be in a room with crayons. I can't talk. Should be in a room by myself with crayons and a coloring book, because I am such a dumbass. I should figure out how to color first, because I'm such a dumbass. It's simply put. It's nothing. Let me put it like this. I'm not directing it necessarily towards Stevens, because Stevens and all these other companies, we have to be what's called in compliant. Basically, we have to do whatever they say. If we don't, we will be placed out of service. We'll be placed out of service. And we will not be allowed to go back into service until we are compliant. So hey, Stevens, I understand you're doing what you're being told to do by the FMCSA and DOT, which is the head of trucking, basically. But I want y'all to understand something, Stevens. The FMCSA, say it with me. Say it with me. The FMCSA and the DOT are dumb asses. They don't know the first thing on what goes on in the real world. And while the states and the DOT dot and the FMCSA, you sit here and you talk about a driver shortage, right? And we need this many drivers by this time frame to meet demand. But yet you're out here shutting down rest areas, closing rest areas. You're out here putting all these rules and regulations to try and get people to get out of the trucking industry because you think your autonomous trucks are going to take over us within the next decade or two. Dumbass. You honestly think that, huh? Let me ask you something, dumbass. Tesla cars, they're already in pilot mode. Some of them do have like a self-driving mode type deal. They're already hitting people. I've heard of a couple running over people. I've already seen accidents while in pilot mode. And you want to sit here and try and talk about an 80,000 pound missile going down the road that's going to be a self-driving truck, but it's still going to have a driver in it? Let me explain to y'all why they want to do that. I want to incite y'all on it. They want to do that because everybody has their own opinion. This isn't necessarily an opinion, this is a fact. So at first, when autonomous trucks do come out one day, the truck will still need a driver in it. But their goal is to get rid of the driver. That's just their goal. They want to get rid of the, listen carefully, listen very carefully, they want to get rid of the human error altogether. Thinking that, oh well, if this truck gets hacked or if the computer system fails and it hits somebody, that we'll blame the computer. Let me tell y'all dumbasses something. We got some damn good lawyers out here in this world. We got some damn good ones. You know who's gonna be sued? The manufacturers who built them and the ones who put them in service, which would be the DOT and the FMCSA. That's when I see shit going haywire. That's when I see shit, when this does literally happen one day. I can see manufacturers being sued. I could see the DOT being sued. I could see the FMCSA being sued for over $2.3 million and shit like that. Y'all have no idea. You're overlooking so much stuff. Like, we have trucking groups out here like America Without Drivers and certain people on Facebook that are truck drivers that have big communication with the FMCSA. And one of them, one day, they was on a phone conference meeting and the driver was live on Facebook without the FMCSA knowing it. Did you know that they don't even know how they're going to fight off cyber attacks on these trucks? Cyber attacks are basically hackers. That's all that is. It's basically hackers that have taken over the computer and that they're controlling the equipment. They have no idea what they're going to do when that happens. They even said it. They said, we haven't got that far yet. We're still thinking about it. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Gosh, Lord forgive me, I'm sorry. Y'all don't even have a clue. You know, it was talking about in the video, well, we have this already sorted out, and we got this sorted out, now we're working on this and this and this. Those things that you were saying you got sorted out, you don't even have the first piece of the puzzle put together. You know what? You don't even have the first piece of the puzzle put together. And it's sad. And to all the kids out there, all the kids, the young men and women, and the children that want to do this when they grow up, I hope you do everything you can to pursue and move forward with that dream. But we all have to look at reality, and it's this simple. Absolutely nothing lasts forever. And to all you kids wanting to get into this game one day that we call the trucking industry, to those of you kids, boys, girls, whatever, that ride with your dad and you enjoy it and it's so much fun, and you do the arm pump, or you enjoy riding over there in that passenger seat, and this is really what you want to do when you grow up, like me, like the way I was. I guess I'm just gonna be real honest. I'm not saying it won't be around, because I think it'll always be around, but I would start, you know, like let's say you're a middle schooler and you want to be a truck driver and you're in middle school. I know you have a phone, because nowadays 6-year-olds get iPhones and iPods, iPads, what the fuck ever you want to call it, because their face is stuck in their freaking phone 24/7. It's ridiculous. If I ever had kids, my kid ain't getting a phone until you're 14, 15. Too bad. Suck it up. But that's just me. Anyway, like I was saying, if you're in middle school or something like that, you want to be a truck driver, start doing some research. Look up trucking industry in 10 years, and look up future trucking, and look up autonomous trucks, and look up these big companies, and look up the FMCSA, and look up the DOT. Then you'll see. And maybe your mom or dad that's in trucking, and when you ride with them in the summer, they'll say the same thing I'm going to say. Some of them will agree, I guarantee it. How is an autonomous truck going to fuel itself? How is, like, let's say it's on a flatbed on a skateboard, how is it going to tarp itself? Who's going to open and close the trailer doors? Here's how they already got that planned out. They will have stationary people for that. So like when, let's say trucking ever does completely go out of business, a lot of truck drivers will be replaced as stationary employees. So like the trucks will pull in and they'll get tarped right there. You know, we'll be outside the truck and we'll fuel it, and then we'll send it on its way, and so on and so forth. You get the idea? You understand? So they already got that kind of figured out. Another thing why they want to do this is robotics can move 10 times faster than the human can. Let's say I'm in a snow blizzard out in Wyoming. I have to shut down for 48 hours because of the blizzard. Autonomous truck's going to shut down too, but they're still going to get it there faster than I can. You know why? Because an autonomous truck is not going to have to run on this. An autonomous truck is not going to have to run on an AOD. It's not going to run on an EOD tablet, and it's not going to have to listen to this.
You have 7 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time.
Play it one more time just in case you were looking at your phone or something instead of watching my video.
You have 7 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time.
I gotta do it one more time, I'm sorry. One more time. An autonomous truck will not have to run on this. Listen. Listen.
You have 7 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time. You have 7 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time. You have 7 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time. You have 7 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time.
That's Jill.
You have 7 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time.
Anyway, guys, an autonomous truck is not going to run on that because it'll be a computer. It'll run non-stop. It'll go from A to B in a day. And yet, here we are out here talking about a driver shortage. So before the FMCSA and the DOT, the dumbasses, before y'all start advertising trucking companies and this and that, this, that, and the third, ask yourself why we have a shortage. And take you and your crew, you and your conference meeting people, and go just go think for a minute. Just go think for a minute. And maybe you'll begin to understand. Hope you all have a great day. Those of you in your suits, I hope you have a day still trying to figure out how this game works. And you don't got a clue. But to the rest of you, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you'll know when I post my next video. Peace.